that this is like in the late 90s, and Gov't Mule was full steam ahead at that point. And he said that he had made a list of musicians, quite a long list. It wasn't just me and a few others, but he had made a list of musicians that he wanted to work with, and that I was on that list, and would I be interested in coming to California for a few days and doing a few days rehearsal and doing a couple of shows. And I was like, absolutely, that sounds fantastic. And so I went out to Marin County and we rehearsed 2 or 3 days, and then we did a couple of shows in Calaveras County at this outdoor thing. It was Merle Saunders, the late Merle Saunders, playing keyboards, and Donna Jean Godshaw was there, John Molo, and myself and Steve Kimmock were the 2 guitar players. And Bear, Owsley Stanley, you guys know who Owsley Stanley, those of you who are tripping, you definitely know who Owsley Stanley is. If you want to do the research, the Steely Dan song Kid Charlemagne is about Owsley. Anyway, Owsley was mixing, and he was mixing old school as if it was like 1967, and he was tripping, and which I'm sure he was. But he had me on one side of the PA and Steve Kimmock on the other side of the PA. And so where he was sitting in the middle at the soundboard, it sounded fantastic. But the people on the right side were going, "We can't hear him!" And the people on the left side are going, "We can't hear him!" You know, so, but Bear's sitting out there mixing and going, "Wow, it sounds fucking great." You know? And I had a relationship with Bear. He was wonderful. He was a big Allman Brothers fan, and we hung out quite a bit, and I miss him a lot. He was a genius at what he did. But that was the beginning of my Phil Lesh experience. I had no idea that it would turn into decades of music together.
And we're glad it did. I had the pleasure of working on
I don't know these
the
questions,
Phil.
by the way, right?
Yeah, no, you don't.
Okay.
Hopefully you know the answers. But,
I definitely don't know the
Sick of My Shadow is a Phil Lesh. Is that a co-write or a write? The song Sick of My Shadow, which is on
Sick of My Shadow,
Man in Motion.
No, that we're confusing that with something else.
Set Me Straight.
Oh, is that? Oh,
Because I heard a demo.
yeah, that's right. That's
There's
right.
a cassette
There's
demo.
of me and him playing it, the 2 of us.
Yeah, just Warren says, like, you think this is a good song to put on the record? What is this? This is just me and Phil sitting playing
Right,
this Phil
that's
Lesh
right.
song. I'm like, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say it's cool, and then you can play it for me. That's fun.
I remember now. There's this really cool demo of just he and I playing it together. But that leads back to another weird story. The reason I had forgotten that we had done that, I wrote "Sick of My Shadow" initially in Zurich, Switzerland, and I was my wife Steph and I we had a couple of days off, and we went and snuck away and rented a nice hotel somewhere. We're just relaxing. And I was thumbing through the TV, and this band, this artist came on, and I'm still not 100% sure what nationality, what language he was singing in, but I'm watching it. The music was kind of cool, but he wasn't singing in English, and he kept singing this thing, and it sounded like "Sick of My Shadow, Sick of My Shadow," but it wasn't. It was another language, and I didn't know what he was saying.
Which means.
And I was like, "Oh, that's a cool idea." And I turned the TV off and went and wrote a song called "Sick of My Shadow." But then, so I showed it to Phil. He helped me finish the music, and I'd forgotten about that demo. It's really cool, and you know the bass lines that he played that only he would ever think of. But he had some great musical input on that too. I'm glad you reminded me of that, because we wrote a handful of stuff together and it was all amazing.
All right, another question from an audience member, also for the folks tripping apparently. When are you going to bust out the purple glitter pants